Good morning, Manchester United fans, and welcome back to the United Zonel. There are plenty of important developments around Old Trafford this morning. Marcus Rashford has returned to Manchester United, but his future remains uncertain. United are also looking at Joaquin Saiz as an alternative to Lewis Hall, while Newcastle continue to block a move for their left-back. We also have an update on Mason Mount following the PSG game, news of Radek Vitek's £14 million move, and another name emerging in United's search for attacking reinforcements. Let's get into it. Let's start with the biggest story, Sir Marcus Rashford. Rashford has returned to Manchester United following his post-World Cup break and after spending last season on loan at Barcelona. For some time, the expectation was that Rashford would leave Old Trafford permanently, but things now appear slightly different. Reports suggest relations between Rashford and Manchester United have improved, and the club has not completely closed the door on him remaining at Old Trafford. However, a permanent transfer is still possible before the transfer window closes. That means Rashford's future is far from decided. His return is particularly interesting because it gives Michael Carrick another attacking option and potentially another opportunity to assess the England international. The big question for United fans is simple. Will Rashford stay and fight for his place, or will he still leave Manchester United this summer? This is certainly a story we will continue to follow closely. Now let's move to United's search for a new left-back. Joaquin Saiz of Club Brugge has reportedly emerged as an alternative target for Manchester United. United remain interested in Newcastle's Lewis Hall, but Newcastle have made their position extremely clear. They do not want to sell Hall. That has forced Manchester United to consider other possibilities, and Saiz could now become an important name on the club's shortlist. The Belgian fullback is reportedly being monitored as United look for another option in that position. And with the transfer window moving closer to its final stages, United cannot afford to wait forever. Another interesting development is Manchester United's transfer spending. Reports indicate that the club has gone more than 4 weeks without completing another first-team signing. United have already made changes to the squad this summer, but the club now appears to be taking a more cautious approach. The left-back position remains one of the biggest priorities. However, United also have to consider the futures of players such as Marcus Rashford and Joshua Zirkzee. Those decisions could influence how much money and squad space are available for further signings, so although United are still expected to be active, fans may have to be patient. Let's go back to Lewis Hall. Newcastle's position remains a major obstacle for Manchester United. The club reportedly considers Hall not for sale this summer. Newcastle have already lost several important players, so they have little interest in weakening their squad further. Reports suggest it would take an extraordinary offer to make Newcastle reconsider. Manchester United therefore face a decision. Do they make a huge offer and try to force the situation? Or do they accept Newcastle's position and move on to another target like Joaquin Saiz? That could be one of United's biggest transfer decisions before the window closes. Now let's talk about Mason Mount. Manchester United drew 1-1 with Paris Saint-Germain in Gothenburg, with Brian Mbeumo scoring United's equaliser. But the biggest concern from the game was Mount. The midfielder was substituted early after suffering what appeared to be a foot problem. That immediately worried Manchester United supporters because of Mount's history with injuries. However, Michael Carrick has described the decision as precautionary. At this stage, there is no confirmed major injury diagnosis. United will obviously continue monitoring Mount, but the early indications are more positive than supporters may initially have feared. Mount has also impressed during pre-season in a deeper midfield role, so keeping him fit could be extremely important for Carrick. Manchester United have also completed another piece of transfer business. Goalkeeper Radek Vitek has joined Middlesbrough in a deal that could reportedly reach £14 million. This is another example of United reducing the size of their squad while generating funds. Vitek has been regarded as a promising goalkeeper, but with competition for places at Old Trafford, a permanent transfer provides him with an opportunity to establish himself elsewhere. For Manchester United, the financial side is also important. Every sale can potentially provide additional funds for Carrick to strengthen other areas of the squad. Finally, Manchester United continue to monitor the striker market. One name being linked with the club is Pio Esposito of Inter Milan. Reports have suggested that the young striker could command a fee of around £73 million. However, United aren't the only club reportedly interested. Arsenal are also said to be monitoring the situation. If Manchester United decide that another striker is necessary, Esposito could become an interesting option. But with such a significant potential price tag, United would have to carefully consider whether the deal makes sense. So let's quickly recap today's biggest Manchester United headlines. Number 1. Marcus Rashford has returned, but his future remains undecided. Number 2. Joaquin Sees has emerged as a possible alternative to Lewis Hall. Number 3. Newcastle continue to insist that Lewis Hall is not for sale. Number 4. Mason Mount's injury scare against PSG appears to be precautionary. Number 5. Radek Vitek's move to Middlesbrough could reach £14 million. Number 6. United continue monitoring the striker market, including Pio Esposito. So Manchester United fans, what do you think? Should United keep Marcus Rashford? Would you prefer Lewis Hall or Joaquin Seys at left-back? And should Manchester United spend big money on another striker? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this Manchester United update, make sure you like, subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next breaking news story. Thanks for watching and glory, glory Manchester United!